Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Cake Radio Show. I'm the CakeDive and hope you guys are doing well because today we will be digging into the drama around Cardi B. No, she isn't in trouble or nothing, but she has said that she is not dropping her sophomore album this year, and the girls are confused. The girls are confused because this keeps happening. She still has not dropped her second album, and people are trying to figure out why she won't drop it, why she's not dropping it this year, what it's gonna be like, what's the tea? And I'm here to dig in. So, as to why she won't dig into this album, why she won't drop the album, she's been very clear about why she won't drop the album. She is very scared about, what, dropping the album, what the performance is gonna be. And throughout the years, if you've paid attention to Cardi B at least a little bit, you can understand that she has, unfortunately, she's very self-conscious. She's very self-aware, and she knows that unfortunately, not even she knows. She has the feeling that charts are important, or that her placement on the charts is really gonna matter here. And sort of, kind of, it's somewhat is important, but also kind of, it's very, she's putting too much pressure on herself, and some of it is, self-induced, and some of it is deserved, considering how she's made it to this place. Part of her definitely believes that, part of her believes what her critics have been saying, and her critics have been saying that she's only made it this far because she was very lucky, or that she, has strong marketing, or a marketing machine, or a label pushing her, da 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 da. And she definitely believes some of that. She is at this point where she feels like she can't have success, she's concerned as to if her success is guaranteed or not. And as I'll dig into, she keeps putting out singles that, regardless of their quality, if they don't perform on the chart, she's gonna put another single out, and then it just keeps falling into the ether. And at this point, we have to sit her down and be like, you need to release an album, or take a break, because it's getting crazy. We've had at this point since Invasion of Privacy, which came out in 2018. She's dropped so many singles to the point in which we probably would be able to have a full body of work just off the singles that she's put out alone. That's kind of crazy. Now, with these singles, let's dig into the history of these singles, right? So, I'm not even digging into the history stuff. Let's start with the album first. Invasion of Privacy it's an undisputable hit. The girls the girls love the album. The girls, it's been a stable hit in terms of performance. It was on the charts up and down. As much as people are chart obsessed, yes, it did make Marcus history on the charts. And for me personally, it is a good album. It's a great debut album, but it's a good album. And I see a lot of people were saying Cardi B put out this body of work with Invasion of Privacy that she does not need to put out a sophomore album. And I'm immediately no. Y'all are trying to have her become the next Lauryn Hill, but for rap, the rap Lauryn Hill, and that is not a cute look. We can't be doing that, because then y'all gonna turn around and be why she still hasn't dropped her album? She getting old, she hasn't dropped her album, da 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 da, and y'all gonna turn on her. And the reason that people are saying that is because she has she's been in good crisis consistently, and she's been in her influencer bag every artist is right now, because again, music is not really that profitable. The profits for artists nowadays comes from if it's not from the album itself, it's from concert performances, and it's from concert performances, it's from merchandise, it is from the sponsorship deals and stuff that they do when they're out influencing. And Cardi B has been doing that throughout the years for sure to keep her stable. She has been doing so many sponsorships last year or so, she's been doing a lot of brand deals and stuff like that. Like she had the Whip It shots. She had the um she did the collaboration with like Patti LaBelle with her Patty Pies. She has like the NYX makeup or like lipstick collabs that she had this year with the Super Bowl. Like she has had pretty consistent collaborations, and even with songs like with her singles like Bongos, you can see that she's had a pretty easy time. Not easy, maybe it's not easy, but she's had a pretty consistent way of like getting product placements and brand deals to like support these like music videos and stuff like that. So the issue of her being an influencer and her success do come together, but I do think, as we've seen on the internet, it's so easy for people to turn on creators. It's so easy for people to just kind of be forgotten if they don't come up with something new, if they don't get return to their bread and butter, or if they don't have anything to rest onto. And Cardi B needs to be very careful, if she continues to push back, not releasing the sophomore album, because at some point people are going to turn on her, and she's going to try to rest down her laurels, and she can't just rest off of one album and a bunch of features and a bunch of throwaway singles. She needs to continue having consistent bodies of work. And then we dig into these singles. So there's Money that came out. There's Please Me with Bruno Mars. Press came out. WAP. She had some collabs in between. She had WAP. Then she had Up. Then she had, some other collabs come in, some other features. And digging into that handful of like songs. Money, for me, I found like it was fairly successful. For me, the way I view it and the way I view the charts, even though I'm not a charts girly, I'm more of a like again, I only talk about the charts when it's like relevant or when the girls want to bring up the charts, and I bring up the charts and look at the data, and I'm like, okay, well, y'all don't know what y'all talking about when y'all bring up the charts, because again, I'm from the mindset, for me, how I view the charts is I come from the mindset of, oh, like if you debut within the top 100, like your song is successful. If you if you are consistent, if you hit the top 100, like your song is a success. And even then, like, is it really like it? Even if it doesn't chart, that does not dispel or like throw away the artistic integrity and like the artistic quality of the song itself. You can have a good song that doesn't hit the charts, and everybody knows that because everybody listens to, well, unless you like a random stan who is only obsessed with like one artist and only listen to one artist, you have listened to independent artists before who have not hit the charts. So it's like boom. And with Money, the song hit #1 R&B hip hop airplay on Billboard, #2 US Rhythmic, #7 Hot R&B hip hop songs, and #13 US Billboard Hot 100. Those were the peaks. And a lot of people say that the song wasn't, like, I've heard some people say that the song wasn't successful, but like, that's a hit. Again, to me, it's a hit. Like, it is there. Like, if you're talking about like success from a charts perspective, it was a success. And then you had Please Me. Please Me is a hit to me. Like, it went #1 in my house. Like, that is, them two matched each other's freak. Like, that is a hit song right there. I need them to collab again, because that was an eat down. Like, ooh. Then you had Press. Press did not do well for sure, and I remember this because I remember Cardi B being like, oh, like, y'all did not like Press. Like, I put the song out and y'all didn't like the song. Like, it was hilarious to me. Then WAP came out, and that is an undisputable hit. It exploded on the charts. It broke a lot of history and broke a lot of records for both Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and just for rap and female rap in general. So it was a very landmark success for Cardi B. Then you had Up. That was a success and was a hit song. And then she kind of disappears and does features until 2022, because while Up came up, okay, Money came out in 2018, after she released Invasion of Privacy. 2019 was Please Me and Press, and then she did some features in between. Then 2020 came WAP. 2021 came up, you know, like not even came up, but like she dropped a single up. Then she did some features in 2022, landed 2021 and through 2022. Then in 2022, she came back with her what was supposed to be her comeback single, which was very obviously the what was going to be one of the debut singles off of her next album, and that was, you know, the Hot Song featuring Kanye West and Lil Durk. And with that one personally, that's very much a take it or leave it song. Like I know the girls did not like that song, and people were making fun of the failures of that song in terms of its charting performance. But the quality of the song is like it makes sense why it didn't chart, because Cardi B had one of the best like verses on that song. Not in terms of her career, but on that song she had a very strong verse. Then with Lil Durk, I personally don't like Lil Durk when he raps. Like I don't find him like a good rapper in my honest opinion. So like I could take or leave his verse. And then Kanye West had one of the worst features that he's ever put out. Like this is one of the songs in which you could tell that Kanye West has gotten, or like has been very lazy. So it's like it's very much take it or leave it song. Then after that song did not do well, she kind of disappears, but kind of still kind of pops in and out with her features. She did the Tomorrow 2 remix. That was a hit. She did the Special remix with Rosalia. Now, I don't remember where that performed at, but it was out there. Then she did Point Me 2. That was a success. And then she did the songs and collaborations for Offset's album, Set It Off. And, you know, it's very much her tracks are very much take it or leave it. I did not like Jealousy as a single, but I did enjoy Freaky off of the album. That was a good song from Cardi and Offset. And again, I do believe that Offset should be kissing the floors that Cardi B walks on, since the success that he's gotten, especially with that album, would not have been where it was if it was not for Cardi B and, you know, her fans being able to push and support. So him cheating and him being weird around her, very strange to me, but again, he needs to be mindful as to why he's been invited to be successful as a solo artist. And then she came back with Bongos in September of last year. The song, I thought it did okay, but the girls said it did not do well. You know, they were talking about how it was free falling and stuff like that. Again, and for me, I think that the song would have absolutely done better if it released in like now, like May 2024. Like if this was a song that came out in between, you know, the rollout of Megan's new album, you know, and her going on tour, like this would have been a hit, and this would have been a fun song to see either of them like both perform together or like have Megan solo perform on tour. Like this is very much a summer song, so I was like, everyone is confused why it released in the fall. But last year did bring a lot of songs like that. Like I remember Flo Milli having the Bad Girls Club, you know, song come out, and the song had like very much beach vibes. She's standing at a pool having a pool party, and the song comes out in like the fall. Like hello, labels are weird, you know, but that's another conversation. Then she came back in 2024 with the Like What freestyle, and then immediately after the Like What freestyle in March, she came back with Enough Miami, and then she did like she's done a few remixes. She did Punteria with Shakira off her new album, and then she did the collaboration with SZA and Flo Milli off of Flo Milli's new album, the remix of Never Lose Me. She has also done collaborations. She's doing a new collaboration with Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion, remixing their Wannabe song. Like she continues to do her like remix and stuff like that, but like these songs that she's put out solely have been like very strange. Like Money, Please Me were hit like WAP, Up, and like those are the songs that were undisputable hits in my everything except like Press was like an undisputable hit during that era. The Kanye West and Lil Durk song flop, like that was a flop unfortunately. You know, the remixes were cute. Bongos was mixed, but did not chart as much as like she clearly wanted it to be. Like she has also said in interviews that she thought this was gonna be like serving WAP tea, not WAP teas. So like the fact that it did not perform WAP numbers was very telling that she like threw away a whole era again. Like what didn't perform, and we could tell that it didn't perform because immediately after she put out another song as well. So it's like you can tell just based off of the rollouts of these songs is that when she sees a song or when she sees a video, not a video, when she sees a song not perform as well as she wants it to be, and like she is gonna just put another song out, or like she's gonna disappear and just fall on the features, and it's very confusing as to like why she keeps doing this, especially because the fact that like most of these songs did not perform as horribly as you would expect them to do. Like again, very confused why she didn't put out a song, or not a song, why she didn't put it out an album when WAP Up and Money came out, because those were all successful songs for her. And I'm also confused why didn't just start pushing along, pushing bongos more, even though it didn't perform okay. Like it would have, like this is a song that should have been put out in the summer. And with Like What and Enough Miami specifically, since those are the two most recent tracks that she's put out at this point, she like kind of pushed them at the beginning, and then she kind of gave up, and then it was just like, well, let's try to do a TikTok trends and try to make it successful on TikTok. And it's like the issue with those two songs in particular, and I guess this is probably a good example as to why she won't put out the album, is that female rap has certainly changed, and we're now kind of in this era where a lot of female rap success now, and a lot of the rise of the newer artists that are coming out now, is from this sort of positioning of female rap as like a realer, rawer, more honest like rap. Like a lot of the girls are giving freestyle teas. Like these songs feel like freestyles, even if they aren't freestyles. They have that sort of vibe. They are like very tied to the streets. Like you got a lot of the girls coming from the streets, and a lot of like artists are becoming more mindful of like the being conscious of what the streets think, outside of what the regular Joe, not even the regular Joe Schmo, like just Joe Schmo who's streaming a song off Spotify is thinking as well. Like you have to have a hit that is like a hit all over the place, but they're considered like because of the success of artists like Sexy Red, like Glorilla, like these girls are now pushing for this newer version of female rap, and Cardi B did not gain success from that type of rap. She never was, in my honest opinion, she never was known for a freestyle rap or like a raw rap sound. Like her rap songs, her songs are very much like songs. Like these are songs that are like very produced. Like they're not even produced, like they are, but like they are produced. They're produced. They are more like songs. Like they have that production value to them. Like they are very, like Cardi B has a very specific type of sound when it comes to her music, that when it comes to trying to switch it over to like what female rap is right now, one, the songs aren't doing well because people aren't listening to Cardi B for that. Like the reason why Cardi B was successful was because of the songs that she did with stuff like WAP, with stuff like Up, with stuff like Money. Like those songs were, even like when going on the Invasion of Privacy album, like those songs like Bodak, like outside of Bodak Yellow, which was kind of the closest thing she's done to like I guess a freestyle, harder sounding rap song, everything else is a little bit more produced, a little bit more like it's not really for the streets, but the streets kind of got the hits too. Like the streets understood. So her trying to switch and pivot and transition herself in this space is not working. I feel like she shouldn't really need to be. She doesn't need to position herself in this space. She could still be doing what she's known for being and like successful for, and still would have gotten support. And the other thing is, I don't know if it's just like her being like, I don't know if it's if her being scared of putting out an album is like impacting the songs. But especially with the two most recent tracks, it just seems like the pen game is like a little bit more like nervous this time around, or like a little bit weaker, because it seems like we're regressing a little bit, because the sound is like, the production is pretty good, like the sound is pretty good, but like the verse itself is very weak, especially when it comes to like the two most recent tracks that she's put out. Like with Enough, like I keep remembering the part in which she's like, better, better, like that's kind of crazy to like usually with Cardi B's songs, especially with her hits, her pen game was a lot more consistent and a lot more fun. Like it just seems like now the songs don't make sense in terms of like we don't know what she is saying, or if she's really saying anything with these tracks. So that's also an issue here. So obviously, like that is also causing people to not click with the songs. And if people aren't clicking with the songs, they're not gonna stream the songs, and that leads to the chart placements that that her and like the barbs and every fan base ever that cares about the charts nowadays are looking at, and that leads her to be like, oh, like that leads her to just pull back and not release the album. And the thing is that even with the chart performances, and again, like the chart performance for her is not horrible. Like all of these songs, mind you, with the exception of maybe Press, I don't, again, because I don't remember where Press like debuted at or peaked at, but all of the songs, even the most recent ones, all debuted within the like Hot 100. They all debuted within the Hot 100. So it's like, and even regardless of if they free fall, they all stayed kind of somewhat stable. Like they all stayed within the top 100 for a good minute. So, girl, not a motorcycle passing by. This is crazy. But like, again, I don't know like what she is, worried about, because again, her songs are very successful. It would be one thing if she was putting out songs and none of them were charting whatsoever, or if they were charting in the bubbling Hot 100, because people will gag if your song hits the bubbling under Hot 100, track, if you care about the charts. But her songs are debuting within the Hot 100. They're fairly successful songs, like even the ones that are Take It or Leave It. So that would lead me to suggest that, okay, if she put an album out like this year, like this summer, which she should do, the album will probably at least do like the what most artists will put out. Like when most artists put out an album, like they will at least do 250 something K sales first weekend. And it's like that will probably get you number one or number two, depending on who, like if there's who else is on the charts. And like I feel like she doesn't think that her fan base is gonna support, or she's gonna have people support the album if she just puts the album out. Like she seems to be hoping for a number one hit. Like she seems to be having like hoping that she gets another undisputable hit, like she got with WAP, with Up, with Money. Not even with Money, like with WAP and Up. Like if she doesn't get an undisputable hit, she thinks that she's not gonna have an undisputable hit album, and I just don't think that's gonna be the case. Like I think that people are still gonna support, because again, it's Cardi B's sophomore album. Like at worst it'll debut number one on Billboard, and then like weekend two it just free falls. But again, you already solidified a good chunk of the sales, and it's like you could still push the album, perform, and do whatever you need to do to keep pushing the album. So it's like, again, not too sure what's going on. And even when it comes to some of the specific cases of this album, like with Bongos coming out in September, I think the biggest reason that Bongos didn't perform well is just because like it came out in the wrong time. Like, why are you dropping it in the fall? I know some people were trying to blame, like, were trying to put like do the Nicki Minaj of it all and be like, oh, Nicki, like some people were trying to say that Cardi was trying to like pull the game on Nicki since she was doing the rollout for Pink Friday 2, and others are trying to say that like, oh, because Nicki was quote unquote doing rollout for Pink Friday 2, people were not trying to pay attention to Cardi or Megan. But for me, I feel like that has nothing to do with it. One, because Nicki wasn't really doing promo for Pink Friday 2. Like, she, baby, all she did, that was a here damn rollout, in my honest opinion. The Barbs would agree. The Barbs would agree, as much as they would try, as much as they would hate not to agree, they would agree that that rollout was lazy on her end, for sure. But the we have to be mindful of the fact that, like, the biggest reason it didn't do well was just because it came out in the fall. And then you have other songs like, you know, the Like What freestyle. Again, Cardi is not known for freestyles like that. So people like, and the song was okay. The music video looked good, but like, the song wasn't like very hit potential. Like, this isn't a song that she would really replay. And the same thing goes for Enough Miami. Like, the song don't really make sense. So it's like, why would we restream this? So she, for me, it's like, if she really wants to have some sort of undisputable hit, she's gonna have to like really time things out, right? Go back to what really made her a success in, you know, previous years, and try to like, she try to go back and remake that. She's tried, and she's had hits before. Like, she's had, like, Bongos is the closest thing to a hit that she's had at this point. But again, it just came out at the wrong time. So she gets back to something that sound like that, which I thought she was going to do, since it seemed like she was teasing this big new era with Bongos. She gets back to that, and she times it at right. Like, this is, she needs to do a summer rollout for this. Like, she's gonna guaranteed be had. She's guaranteed to have the hit that she so like earnestly wants. But even then, if she does not have all that, she still can put out an album and be fine, and have fine performance. It's just the issues that we need to, like, she needs to kind of, you know, take a step back and realize that the sound, and when I mean the sound, I'm not talking about the music sound. I'm talking about the sound of her critics and her haters, doesn't matter at the end of the day. She has solidified herself. Like, she has shown that she can be a superstar. She just needs to put the work in to solidify it. And again, if she puts out an album like this month, if she puts out an album this summer, she's guaranteed to still have success. Like, she's as an artist, she still has a lot of power, and she's proven this in the songs that she's put out and the features that she's done. That she still has a lot of power, a lot of clout, a lot of currency. That if she puts an album out, you know, regardless of what the quality is, now we're all hoping for a good album, it would still do numbers. And we've seen that with other artists too, with other rappers too. I'm not gonna name who, but y'all catch my drip, y'all catch my drip. But she just, and like, again, she needs to be like, I feel like she's ingrained herself in this very like stan culture like mindset, in which it's like she needs to have a number 1 hit or a number 10 hit in order for her to have this like have an album be successful. And again, she does not need that. She really doesn't need that, because she's gonna get it regardless, because she's Cardi B. And I feel like that's honestly it. Like, I feel like she just needs to put an album out, even if and she also has to be mindful that even if like, let's say like worst case scenario, she puts this album out and it just flops. Like, it doesn't chart, she does nothing. It's not like she's fully over. She can go back and do a third album and go back to basics, go back to the things that she needs to do and redeem herself. Like, she has a lot of room I feel like she has a lot of room for error that she doesn't realize and she doesn't see, because the noise is saying that she doesn't have that, but she definitely does. And I feel like that's really it. Like, Cardi, I don't know if she listened to this. She seemed to be active online. She seemed to be listening to people. But Cardi, if you listen to this, baby, you put out the album, like, we will stream. Like, don't be too, like, we know you're scared. We know you're nervous, but the noise does not matter, because your peers have like, let's take Megan for example. Like, Megan has put out, you know, even though she's had albums that have quote unquote been flops, like Traumazine and stuff like that, and the girls, well, when I say the girls, the Barbs have dragged her through hell and back over how those songs have performed. But not even songs, how those albums were performed. But she has still consistently put out hits. And now we're kind of in this era, especially with this new album, especially with Hiss and like Cobra and the feature that she did with Glorilla and this tour. She's eating down. And she's clearly proven that even with albums that have not performed well according to the stan mindset of charts in this weird era of charts that we're in, she has still put out hits. She has still proven that she is a superstar, and she has still proven that she is here to stay. So if Megan has done it with worse, because trust me, Megan has gone through hell and back. We all know this. Who's to say that Cardi B can't do that? And that's where I'll leave you. I hope you guys enjoyed this very, honest and this very unedited episode of the Cake Radio Show. I mean, all my episodes are unedited, baby, but like, because I got to keep it real. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for supporting the channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and watch my previous episodes too. Like, show those episodes some love as well. And if you are listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, I love y'all so much. Be sure to follow and rate the podcast wherever you listen to this on. All the support helps. And yeah, again, love y'all so much. This has been CakeDive with the Cake Radio Show, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.